Are you guys ready in the back? Okay, cool. Is everything up, Casey? Wow. I can't believe we're doing this. This is so weird and so neat. And I never could have figured it out. That's why we've got smart people back there. Let me see. Tell me when it's new. Oh, look at that. You're precise. All right. We are on. Well, good afternoon and welcome to the 2020 CancerLINC Annual Awards Luncheon. My name is Chris Williams and I am the Executive Director of CancerLINC. And it's my honor to welcome all of you here today to this very special awards ceremony. It's wonderful to have such a great turnout here with us in person, as well as all of you who are there virtually joining the celebration with us. It's an understatement, of course, to say that this is a strange and challenging year. Our patient referrals were dramatically impacted by the pandemic, and our spring and fall events were either canceled or postponed. However, this event is much too important for us to cancel or postpone. Through this event, we recognize the generous, dedicated efforts of nearly 200 volunteers that make our services to cancer patients possible. In addition to our volunteers, we also need to thank, of course, our partner organizations as well as our sponsors who support our efforts and make events like this possible. You likely have seen them listed on the slides prior to the event, and we'll see them listed later. Also streaming across the bottom, I think, as well on the virtual view. Our lead sponsors of the event are Virginia Cancer Institute, Thompson McMullen, Christian and Barton, LabCorp, and W.E. Bowman Construction. Their financial support, along with other generous donors, have made today's event possible, and they ensure that CancerLINC is able to serve those in need. There are several other sponsors and donors of today's luncheon that are very deserving of our gratitude. Please note them on the screen and in the electronic program. For those of you virtually, that program is available as a link below the video. Additionally, I want to thank Independence Golf Club for hosting us today and for this wonderful venue, for Eventful and their expertise in putting this virtual event together for us, and Baskerville Photography. Of course, George, we appreciate your sharing of time and talents to help us out today. Now, lastly, we must also recognize our local cancer care partners. VCU, Massey Cancer Center, Bon Secours Richmond Health System, Virginia Cancer Institute, HCA Sarah Cannon Cancer Center. These specialty centers are full of very talented professionals who trust their patients to us each and every day for us to provide them with help. So before I introduce Paul today, there's one more item that I want to mention to you. Normally, if you've attended our luncheon in the past, we normally charge a ticket, and that ticket last year was $75, and the price of that ticket covers not only the lunch, but also a donation to CancerLINC. Now, since this event is virtual this year, I ask you to consider making a donation to CancerLINC through either the online donation page that's on our website or by mail. Last year, we raised $35,000 during the awards luncheon to support our mission services. And to date, we have raised nearly $27,000. So I ask for your help in reaching that $35,000 mark again this year. So please give. I've said enough for now. and it's important to move on for all the main reasons that we're here today. So it's my pleasure to introduce Paul Ranney, who is our president of the board of directors. Welcome, Paul.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our luncheon. My name is Paul Ranney, as Chris mentioned, and I am the current president of CancerLINC. Thank you for being with us today, both here in the room, appropriately spaced out, and online with us, I hope. As Chris mentioned, this is a special occasion for CancerLINC. We gather today to recognize the generous contributions of some very deserving people. They give of their time, talent, and expertise for one reason: to help someone in need. This is the foundation that built CancerLINC, or the Legal Information Network for Cancer as it was originally known. 24 years ago, this organization sprouted from the personal experience of two cancer patients, Phyllis Katz and Ann Hodges. Their idea and concept for helping cancer patients in need took off. Thanks to their leadership and the volunteer efforts of countless others over the years, the founding vision lives on. Put simply, people helping people. Phyllis and Ann, we know you're watching today, and thank you for your continued support and guidance. Our mission remains to help cancer patients and their families with legal and financial issues that result from this disease. These circumstances may include mounting medical debt due to treatment costs, insurance denials, housing instability or foreclosure, employment issues due to missed work, and end-of-life planning documents, just to name a few examples. In our most recent fiscal year, CancerLINC assisted 459 local cancer patients with 576 legal and financial issues. It is estimated that since its founding 24 years ago, CancerLINC has provided these vital non-medical services for more than 10,000 patients and their families. Just as noteworthy is that 79% of the patients we serve live below the federally defined poverty level and receive free professional services from at least one of the more than 175 skilled and compassionate CancerLINC volunteer attorneys and financial advisors. Those volunteer professionals are our rock stars. They are the reason we are here today. Their compassionate service for local cancer patients make our mission services possible, and our program today will highlight a group of very special volunteers. I hope you will be inspired as I am by their service and commitment to others. In addition, we will also hear from those who have benefited from the generous acts of CancerLINC volunteers. Tara Quinn is one of these cancer clients who has shared her story.
I think my first exposure to CancerLINC was learning about your life planning clinics and attending one of those many years back and seeking out some help and trying to help my fiance plan for wills and medical directive and power of attorney. Ultimately, the resources that you all provided did help in getting power of attorney and medical directive done. But yes, a will wasn't completed. So after he did pass away, there was no will. He was always so positive and so in the moment and just living life and loving the people he was with that I think he just had a hard time facing some of those issues. But when he did pass away without a will, I worried a great deal about how kind of wrapping up all of those financial affairs, legal affairs were going to impact his son, who had just turned 21, about a week before he passed away. And so the estate attorney was so helpful in answering a lot of the questions that I had for how to make sure that everything was closed out in a way that wasn't going to create a negative impact for his son down the road. Because this was something I'd never dealt with before. And I just really wanted to make sure that, it was as easy on his son as possible. I mean, tremendous relief just to have access to that information. It was something that we had talked about, and I was urging him to take care of some of those issues. But I think also too, just being around the other families that were dealing with similar situations. I mean, I think any sort of major illness is very isolating for everyone, and I think just having that camaraderie and other people to kind of ask questions of too and share stories, it made me feel like he wasn't quite as alone. But I would just urge everyone to ask for that help. It can be hard to do, but it helps the patient, it helps the family, and it helps you concentrate on getting well, or in my case, on being able to say goodbye with peace of mind, that his family that his son in particular would be able to move ahead and enjoy his life and not have those final complications of legal and tax issues to deal with.
I continue to be amazed at how sharing of time and expertise from our volunteers to help someone like Tara and other patients can mean so much. And just simple acts like this really point to why our organization is important. Well, we're going to get to our first award today, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce that first award. Our first award is the Allison Held Volunteer Award, and it's named in honor of Allison Held, who was very likely the first volunteer of the organization. She ascended as a board member of the organization and then was president, and now works with us as a professional colleague at VCU Massey Cancer Center. This award is presented annually and has been since the beginning to an individual who has provided outstanding volunteer service to CancerLINC. The honored volunteer has demonstrated a commitment to our organization through volunteering their time and talents to further our ability in mission services. This year, we honor Faye Lewis with this award. Now, Faye is a native of Richmond. She received an associate's degree from William and Mary, a bachelor's degree from Bluefield College, and has earned certificates from UVA and University of Richmond. She is retired after 35 years of federal service in leadership and management positions. Now, on a personal note, she is a mother of one son and two grandsons that she absolutely adores, and we all know that who have been around her. Not only does she volunteer for CancerLINC, but she also volunteers for Johnston Willis Hospital, Huguenot Road Baptist Church, the Virginia Historical Society, and Faye serves as a poll worker during the elections, except for this year. Faye is a cancer patient and survivor who has never met a stranger. She lights up our office every time she comes in to help with a project. So we're going to hear a little bit from Faye today.
What an honor to have been selected Volunteer of the Year for CancerLINC. When I got the initial call, I could not believe it. Then finally it sunk in and I thought, ooh, now I've got to do a speech. Where do I start? I think I'll start at the beginning. About 15 years ago, a very dear friend of mine, who is no longer with us today, asked if I would come and help with a bag event for LINC. I didn't know what LINC was. I didn't know what a bag event was. All I knew was my friend needed help, and I was going to go help her. I attended the bag event that evening and thoroughly enjoyed myself. After that, I was hooked. I could not do enough for LINC. Every time they called me, I was always right there to help. And once I retired, I was able to give them even more time. I would go into the office and help with anything that needed to be done. I purged files. I made phone calls. I cleaned closets. I worked table events. I did anything they asked me to do. I could never do enough. I never felt I did enough, but I enjoyed every minute of it. Webster defines a volunteer as someone who does a task without being paid. I totally disagree with this. You are paid when you volunteer. You're paid for all the thank yous you get, for all the appreciation you receive, and what it does to your heart to help people that you know are in need. And you are doing something great for society and for the community. I would highly recommend anyone who has never volunteered before to actually go out and try it. I think that you will get a lot out of it. The last task I was given to do was a survey given to prior clients of CancerLINC. They were asked questions about the services they received and how satisfied they were, and if there was anything we could do to improve our services. The response I got was phenomenal. Everybody had wonderful things to say. They could not praise CancerLINC enough. It just made me feel so good. Even some of our staff went to either the hospital or to their homes to help out. They were so appreciative of all the services that we had given. And I just think it's wonderful to have been a part of this organization. Thank you, and may God bless each and every one of you.
Now, Faye deeply regrets that she can't be here today. She recently had surgery and she's home recovering. I spoke to her yesterday and she's doing quite well, but she does regret being here and sends her best to everyone. And so this is her award, and I will make sure that she receives it. I'll take it over to her house and we'll sit out on the porch and we'll probably have a long conversation. So thank you very much on behalf of Faye. So, Paul.
Thank you, Chris. I'm sure you guys will enjoy that visit. The next award is the Krista Latshaw Pro Bono Award. This award is named in memory of the late Krista Latshaw. Krista was a volunteer attorney and board member with LINC between 1998 and 2003. As an employment benefits attorney, she was a dedicated pro bono advocate for numerous patients who had few, if any, resources. Her motivation was the unjust situations these patients face due to their cancer diagnosis. This award is presented each year to one of CancerLINC's volunteer attorneys or financial advisors who has demonstrated a similar unwavering commitment to CancerLINC's clients. This year, we recognize Virginia H. Grigg with the Krista Latshaw Pro Bono Award. Ms. Grigg is a graduate of James Madison University and the University of Richmond Law School. Go Spiders. She is an attorney with Christian & Barton and Trusts and Estates, where she has worked since 1999. Ms. Grigg joined CancerLINC as a pro bono attorney in 2005 after hearing a presentation at the Metro Richmond Women's Bar Association. Since that time, she has provided pro bono services to more than 100 CancerLINC clients. Our client services staff members here at the office know Ms. Grigg is always going above and beyond to help our clients. Before COVID-19, she often would provide services to patients at their bedsides, knowing timing is often critical. Recently, we had a client who was entering hospice care at a residential facility and needed to name a power of attorney. It was important that her will was executed before she moved from the hospital. Ms. Grigg answered our call for help promptly, spoke to the client by phone, drew up the documents, and delivered them to staff to be executed and notarized with the patient the same day. This case was not unusual for her. In addition to her work with CancerLINC, Ms. Grigg is involved in the community as a trustee of Third Church and has served in leadership positions of her homeowners association. Virginia was recognized as Virginia Business Legal Elite in 2011 for her taxes, estates, trusts, and elder law practice.
My name is Virginia Grigg, and I'm an estate planning attorney at the law firm of Christian & Barton. I want to say that I am truly honored to be this year's recipient of CancerLINC's Krista Latshaw Pro Bono Award. When I read the description of the award, I felt that there were many attorneys and financial planners that were equally qualified. There are a number that dedicate a lot of time to CancerLINC and a lot of volunteer hours, so I'm truly honored that I was selected for this award. I've been at Christian & Barton for about 21 years. My primary area of practice is trusts and estates. So I do estate planning, where I help write wills, trusts, and other documents. I do estate administration, where I help families with the estate of decedents. And I do trust administration, where I help trustees administer trusts. I've been working with CancerLINC, I think, for about 10 years, although I'm really not positive. I know it was long enough that I still refer to them as LINC sometimes rather than CancerLINC, so it has been a while. As an attorney, we have certain aspirational goals to provide a certain percentage of our practice to pro bono in serving the public free of charge. I had heard of CancerLINC, and I thought it was a very good fit for my area of practice, estate planning. I knew that they would have clients that were in a position that would need wills, trusts, and other sorts of documents. CancerLINC serves clients that are under a tremendous amount of stress due to their diagnosis of cancer and all the legal issues that come with that. I saw CancerLINC's effectiveness and their compassion when working with clients, and I thought it would be an excellent way to use my pro bono hours. As I said, I do trusts and estates. So for most of the clients I work with CancerLINC, I'm writing wills, powers of attorney, and advanced medical directives. These are people who have an uncertain future due to their cancer diagnosis. And it's very helpful to them to know that they have these documents in place. It gives them a certain peace of mind. I've been to many homes, hospitals, and nursing homes in order to get documents signed and in place. Clients are very grateful to CancerLINC for this service. Due to the financial guidelines of CancerLINC, most of the clients I see don't have a lot of assets, but they certainly want the assets that they have to go where they want them to go. And they want someone in charge who they know will carry out their wishes. So it's very important to them to have these documents, even if they don't have a lot of assets. I have had instances where I have drafted the documents and gotten them signed, and the client has passed away shortly thereafter. The families are extremely grateful that these documents are in place because it eases their burden and helps them to know where to go and what to do after the client has passed away. This pro bono award is meaningful to me because CancerLINC provides such an important service to those in need. It is an awesome organization, and I encourage you to support it in any way that you can. Thank you. I want to thank you again for this honor. These awards show CancerLINC's appreciation for their volunteers and the important role that the volunteers and community supporters such as yourselves play in their mission. CancerLINC meets a unique need in the lives of cancer patients and their families, and I am proud to be associated with an organization that is such a vital community resource. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next award is the Outstanding Law Firm Award. The Outstanding Law Firm Award is presented only periodically when a local firm demonstrates a remarkable corporate commitment to CancerLINC and the patients we serve. This year, it was easy for us to select Thompson McMullen to receive this recognition. With us today, representing the firm are two of its most active CancerLINC volunteers, Carolyn White and Chris McCarthy. Thank you for being here. Since 1973, Thompson McMullen has advised the middle-class market and closely held companies, assisted entrepreneurs and licensed professionals, defended government officials, represented the needs of individuals and families, and served as lead and local counsel in disputes pending in state and federal courts throughout Virginia and beyond. Attorneys with Thompson McMullen have been volunteering with CancerLINC for more than a decade. During that time, 10 attorneys have provided pro bono services to clients for hundreds of issues involving estate planning, uncontested guardianship, insurance denials, and elder law. In the last year and a half, Christopher Malone, Paul Izzo, Christopher McCarthy, Lindsay Pickrell, and Carolyn White helped 29 clients with 39 issues. This group of dedicated pro bono volunteers are always willing to help cancer patients and their families.
We've been together as a law firm since 1974. There are about 33, 35 attorneys. I can't keep track at this point from day to day. We're a general civil practice law firm. We do a lot of elder law work, but a lot of other things. Our philosophy as a firm is we believe that we're blessed to be able to be of service to the community, and we expect all of our lawyers to have a participation in doing good things in the community.
I started volunteering with CancerLINC in about 1995, pretty soon after I graduated from law school. As an estate planning and estate administration attorney, there actually aren't a whole lot of times where my pro bono contributions make a difference to people. This is one of the few times where it really makes a difference that I can show up and give them a general power of attorney. I can show up and give them an advanced medical directive. I can show up and give them a will so that they have peace of mind and don't have to worry about business transactions when they're just trying to be a family supporting each other.
But we've certainly had situations over the years where we've gotten a CancerLINC referral for someone with a recent diagnosis, perhaps with a upcoming procedure, and if they don't have power of attorney, medical directive, wills, things like that in place, we're able to get that done for them very quickly, sometimes within a matter of hours, sometimes within a day or two. And that can make a big difference for the patient and the family, knowing that things are taken care of. CancerLINC is important to me because I've had family members going through the stress and uncertainty of cancer, and have had just so many clients dealing with those issues over the years. And I know the stress and the uncertainty and the fear that that causes. And I think it's important that we help clients and CancerLINC patients deal with that, and give them solutions, give them peace of mind that their family is going to be taken care of.
I would say it's been every bit of 4 or 5 years, if not longer, that I've been volunteering with CancerLINC, primarily fielding questions from folks that might need them, questions about public benefits, Medicare, Medicaid benefits, that kind of thing, but also just traditional estate planning questions as needed for folks that have a need to have documents put in place. Well, CancerLINC provides a valuable resource to our community, making legal resources available to folks that may need them when faced with a cancer diagnosis. It's bad enough that somebody has to deal with the health implications, all the insurance claims and things like that. One thing we can do as attorneys is we can put at least one area of their lives in good order for them, so that they don't have to worry about those particular concerns. So we can remove those concerns and allow them to focus on their health and make sure that their other needs are dealt with through their estate documents.
We support each other in all we do, and we celebrate each other's success, but we don't isolate that success. A success for one is a success for all, and we kind of work on that motto here. I have to confess that we're not about awards here. It's a nice recognition, but it's not something that we would have sought or applied for. We appreciate the recognition that's given to us, but we believe that the greatest recognition for being of service to people is the opportunity to do good work for people who need help.
So it is absolutely my privilege to accept this award on behalf of Thompson McMullen. I drew a short straw somewhere along the line, and I am the titular head of the Elder Law Department for Thompson McMullen, and a better group of people you couldn't hope to work with. They are absolutely amazing. I'm also going to thank someone who isn't anywhere on the program. I'm going to thank Virginia's dad, Meredith House. Meredith raised amazing kids, Virginia Grigg, the other award winner, being one of them. He taught a reasonably talented attorney, me. And Chris and I, as we developed our firm over the years, merged our entire practice with the practice of Thompson McMullen because of their reputation, because of the fact that they support these kinds of initiatives in the community. I have to tell you, I have no idea how many cases we have done for you. That was a surprise to me, because it's not something, as Chris Malone said, it's not something we strive for. It's just what we do. So thank you so much for this award.
Carol and Chris, thanks for being here today. And yes, it's hard to pin the numbers down because you keep accepting cases, so the numbers keep going up. So these are just point in time. Yes, we're moving along quite well, and we're moving to our final award of the day. And that final award is the Ronnie Jacobs Leadership Award. This award is given every year to an individual whose leadership has made a significant impact in supporting the mission of CancerLINC and improving the lives of people in our local community. The award is named in memory of Ronnie Jacobs, a former CancerLINC board member and dedicated volunteer who lost her battle to cancer in 2014 while serving this organization. Her husband, Cecil, sends his regards, and he regrets that he's unable to attend today. So it's with great pleasure that we recognize Rudy Garcia with this award. Rudy is a friend of many years. He's one of our more active volunteers, helping many of our patients navigate the financial issues that accompany a cancer diagnosis. Now, Rudy is a volunteer financial advisor who has been working with CancerLINC since 2011. And over the years, he has assisted numerous clients and their families. He serves as a frequent resource for our staff and for new volunteer financial advisors. He never turns down a CancerLINC client and is always available to our staff. Most recently, he served on the Client Services Subcommittee to help refine our client acceptance criteria for finances and assets. Rudy served in the U.S. Army for 22 years. Thank you for your service. In various assignments in multiple locations across the U.S., Europe, and North Africa. He has over 25 years of adult education experience, having served as a trainer, educator in the U.S. Army and with the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA. He has been involved in service organizations since 1980. Rudy continued his community service throughout his military career and is still serving his community today as a board member for multiple nonprofits and trade associations, as well as a member of the Rotary Club of Fluvanna County. His current volunteer roles include the following: Director and President of Prevent Child Abuse Virginia, Rotary Club of Fluvanna County, Director within the Fluvanna Chamber of Commerce, Director of Retail Merchants Association, Fluvanna Leadership Development Program Steering Committee, and the Fluvanna County Finance Board. So we'll hear a little bit about Rudy now.
Hi, my name is Rudy Garcia. I own two small businesses. One is a financial planning business and one is a tax preparation business. I live out in the country in Fluvanna County and have been coming back and forth to Richmond for the last 15 years to service clients. You know, when you get recognized by your peers, when you get recognized by an organization that you are officially a member of, those are all nice awards. However, when you get recognized for doing something behind the scenes, something that isn't really what one would expect people to notice, it just has a real sweetness to it to know that the time and effort that I put into helping here in CancerLINC and in other nonprofits has been recognized and seen as a valuable contribution to society. So 3 or 4, maybe 5 years ago, I had a client who was she had just celebrated her 3 months free of cancer after completing her chemo and radiation treatment. And she was really distressed because she felt like she was going to have to file bankruptcy, that she didn't have enough money to pay her bills. And so what we did was we sat down and we did a really deep dive into what her finances looked like. And then we came up with a plan that initially was just, let's maintain where we are, pay only the minimum on our cards, and in 3 months, let's see what happens. So at the end of that 3 months, we got back together and she had a really good start and she started working the plan. She finished paying off most of her cards and then she became a paying client of mine because she had some assets that she wanted me to manage for her. And I just got a note from her today telling me she had paid off the last of her debt except for her car and had $1,000 in the bank working towards a down payment on her house. CancerLINC is an unbelievable organization. The volunteers on both the financial planning side and the legal side have such a heart for the clients. all of us share a similar passion in that we want to see people who have been dealt one of the most traumatic experiences in their lives and their families' lives. We want to see them come out of that with the ability to resume life as somewhat normal. And we want to be able to offer them that opportunity without impacting their current financial situation. If you're a financial planner or an attorney and you have a heart to help people, I would really ask you to consider giving CancerLINC a call. The work we do is so important. Cancer isn't going away anytime soon. And we need all the help we can get to service those families who are impacted by cancer. If we can't cure it, maybe we can help them have some safety and security in their lives.
So it's pretty humbling when I think about the families that I've worked with over the last 10 years or so. The impact that the volunteers have on the families that Link services is beyond measure. While we were sitting here, I got a little chat box on the live feed from a client who just really floored me with her comment about how important my contribution to her life was. So the work is important. It becomes more and more important the longer we go without guaranteed access to healthcare, and until we get to the point where nobody has to worry about whether they're going to feed their kids or get their cancer treatment, our jobs here are not going to go away. Thank you.
Before we move on, I just want to stop for a minute and thank all of our honorees today for their service, and for all of us here in the room, I'd like to give them a hand. Rudy's comments summed up so much of what I see on a daily basis, and that's why this event is so important. Because even if it's just 5 minutes of a volunteer's time answering a question for a patient who calls, it can be very meaningful. So before we go, and because we're on TV, I have to say there's more to come. So there is one other award that we want to provide today that we want to present, and we want to honor this person. This person has been a lifeline to so many of our patients. They're a calm and comforting voice, a two-time cancer survivor, a friend, and a work colleague. Gloria Cooley has been a client services coordinator. Oh, she's given me that look. With CancerLINC for 3.5 years. And during that time, she was the primary contact that each one of our patients who contacted us for help would be served by Gloria. And Gloria decided this summer to semi-retire, and she's now working with us 8 hours a week, which we're still glad to see her each and every week. Her dedication to CancerLINC and to the patients who contact us requesting assistance is very worthy of our recognition, and we wanted to make that possible today. So Gloria, thank you. And if you would stand to be recognized. And we have a little something for you today.
You so much.
You want to say a few things?
Sure. First of all, it's thank you for this. If anybody would have told me that after going through cancer, I would circle around to helping other cancer patients, I wouldn't have believed it. It's so much fun to put faces to names. It's so rewarding. I love the work we do. I love the people that I work with, even Chris. And just want to say thank you so much.
And I know Paul wants to get back up here and continue moving, but I do want to stop for just a minute and thank all of our staff. Our staff are here today, and I want to recognize them all. And Marcy Walsh is our Client Services Manager. We have with us as well Lisa Allen, who is our Client Services Attorney. We have with us, you've met Gloria, and we also have Allison Meisler, and who is back here, and she is our new Client Services Coordinator. And then the person who has made all of this possible, including the videos and everything like that, is Casey Young, who is our Outreach and Communications Manager. And so I would be remiss if I did not mention them today. So now I'm going to let Paul do his thing. And again, thank you.
Thank you, Chris. And thank you to the staff, and especially Gloria. I want to echo the thanks for your hard work since you've been with us. I was very sad to hear you were, I was told you were retiring. I'm very happy to see that it's a semi-retirement. So always happy to talk to you when I call in. We are inspired by you and all the volunteers that have been honored here today. And before we close, we want to introduce you to one more very special person. Sandra Elam is a cancer survivor, a past CancerLINC client, and now an advocate and donor who is paying it forward for others. It is our privilege today to share her story with you.
I learned about my cancer diagnosis in July of 2015 after having had a well woman's checkup. It was invasive carcinoma. What it meant was that I had, even though it was in the early stages, the breast cancer was discovered on the right side, and it was the type of breast cancer that was deep into the tissue. On the inside, I mean, when you hear that word cancer on the inside, you just, I think your mind in about 10 seconds sees all sorts of scenarios as far as what's coming down the road. And, you know, I've never been a person given to nervousness but it was alarming at that point. You go through probably all sort of different emotions in a very short span of time. Well, CancerLINC was very instrumental in making me feel as if I was not by myself. From the moment that I came into the office, I had a myriad of issues that the breast cancer had started to cause. You go through the financial aspects of it as far as not being able to work, but still having to meet certain requirements in your life, such as your normal everyday bills. I had some issues as far as that came up down the road. I had an employer that I was working for at the time that terminated my employment, and CancerLINC was very instrumental in helping me resolve that matter legally. As far as the referrals that they were able to give me, it put me in touch with a outstanding attorney who we still have contact to this day. It was a really, really, really rewarding experience for me. You know, it was just such a relief how every problem that I had that I presented to CancerLINC, they were swift. You know, they were swift with the resources, and you know, I can't say enough about how that having someone in your corner that kind of takes the weight of those situations off of you, where you're then able to concentrate on trying to get well. You know, some of the worst things in the world is while you're sick with chemo, trying to worry about where the rent's coming from, how you're gonna pay the electric bill, and and battle cancer way on top of it. So CancerLINC was just phenomenal. That's the only word. Well, I shouldn't say the only word, but that's definitely a word that comes to mind when I think of CancerLINC.
We were hopeful Sandra could join us today, but a work conflict prevented her attendance. But as board members, we hear stories like Sandra's on a regular basis. Their experiences inspire us and continue to inspire us for the work that we do for this organization. Our services that we provide are unique and vital, as you've seen here today through our videos and through our volunteers. There is no other organization in the state that provides the same care and service for cancer patients. As I'm sure you're all aware, this has been a very challenging year for everyone, especially these cancer patients, as their issues have been amplified by the pandemic. Their needs are growing and they are contacting us for help. Our patient requests are beginning to exceed the levels of those last year, and they continue to grow. More than 79% of our patients that we help are below the poverty line, and 79% of our patients are also 50 years of age or older. These are folks who have limited resources and live on fixed incomes, who otherwise could not afford the professional assistance and advocacy CancerLINC provides through its network of volunteer professionals for our clients. This is a pivotal time for CancerLINC. There are still important initiatives to accomplish that will allow us to serve even more patients and to serve them even more effectively. Strong financial support is crucial. Your gifts not only sustain our mission services to patients when they need it the most, but also support our momentum of improving the quality of our services and reaching more patients. Please consider making a donation to CancerLINC today. You may designate your donation in honor or in memory of someone special. You may do so on our CancerLINC website or via check through the mail. Your gift will help patients and loved ones who are struggling with difficult situations like Tara and like Sandra. Additionally, your contribution will also honor and support the work of the volunteer professionals like those with us today. At the minimum, I ask you, if you are not in a position to make a financial contribution, please tell someone about us. You have our contact information, and it's been here behind us all day long. Please tell someone about us. All too often, we run into situations out in the general public saying, I'm the president of the board of directors for CancerLINC, and the first thing they say is, what's CancerLINC? Tell somebody who we are and how we can help. In closing, I'm sure those are happy words for everyone. I thank you for your attendance today and your ongoing support of CancerLINC and the local patients we serve. I hope this celebration has inspired and renewed you with these examples of people helping people. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful afternoon, a wonderful weekend, and stay safe.